Fish, plants, and hardscape, the trinity of the underwater world. This is a dynamic, growing, and flourishing relationship. We are going to try to achieve this with Victor here in the case of this 120p tank.
Yes, welcome to the beautiful world of aquascaping. So last week we had a big building session where we set up the hardscape.
If you didn't see the video, check out the link in the description.
Today we're going to plant all this thing.
I've been talking to some team members here and some clients that came personally to Green Aqua to check out our beautiful tanks. They don't like the left side of the tank. They think it's empty.
Okay.
Do you think it's empty?
We weren't sure about how the plant will change the final look. Plants will add up like 10-20 centimeters on the top.
And for that I'm relying heavily on you, but not only you, but our plant specialist, Huba. Hey.
Hi everyone.
You brought us some beautiful plants. You have to tell us the names of them because I don't know. I know that they're fern types, and you brought some Christmas moss that I recognize.
The original idea was that to use real bonsai plants.
We ditched the idea.
We found a better solution.
We thought that the bonsai would be too big, even if we would choose the smallest bonsai. First of all, it would be difficult to keep it alive. Second, it would grow too big. So Huba,
the look will be the same.
Huba came up with some crazy good ideas for ferns and for other plants that can be used instead of bonsai.
The plan is that we use materials that can uptake water to the roots to a certain degree.
So basically we have like three types of plants. The plants that have the roots under the water. The second will be the one that goes on the hygrolon, which will get the water from the waterfall. And the third one will be the ones that are placed into this peat mixture. So without further ado, let's start working.
Let's go. The idea with the planting to use mainly dark green type of plants. And for that reason, we have different kind of anubias. One of the plants we've not used so much these days, that's the Biotope heteroclita. It's the tiny version of the Biotope. We have some grass, we have some Ricardia moss here, we have some cryptocorin parva, and we have a ton of lens for the upper part.
How should we keep this whole thing minimalistic?
Part of these plants goes to the cliffs or the hardscape, so only just small portion will be on the foreground. Just don't plant the grass as you usually do. If you just plant it here and there, we can mix it with cryptoparva, for example, to just break a little bit. We can put in some other small plants.
Are you going to do anything or just talking like last time?
I don't know.
You were the smart last time.
Is this the one? Yeah, this is the tripartitamine.
Yeah, but we don't want to use tripartitamine at the bottom because that's going to run everywhere. Okay, so one more anubias goes into the crack here. Don't forget that a typical planted aquarium thrives on strong lighting, CO2 injection, because plants need CO2. That is the plant food. Actually, plant nutrients are only like the appetizer for the CO2, and it needs strong filtration to help with the biology of the tank. And obviously it needs heavy planting and fish. Oh, and before I forget, regular upkeep, maintenance. That's also key.
I was happy to see the hardscape. I wasn't sure how I will feel when I look at it today, because it was a week ago and I haven't seen the tank since then. So this is the first time for me, again, to see the hardscape.
Just to clarify, Victor is working a lot. He's just not coming into Green Aqua too often.
Yeah, I'm working in
You're the home office type of guy, aren't you now?
Doing some marketing and web work behind the scenes, but I'm really missing this planting part and
missing the action. But you're not missing the action today, Victor.
Today not.
You're absolutely in the action today. I always love working with you. I'm planting the cryptocorin parva in patches. I'm using the mini ferns, thrusting them into like these little crevices. This is going to look great. See that we're not using any big plants. I love the idea.
This is the hydrocotyle tripartite mini. Most of the hydrocotyle are like double, triple, or 10 times larger on the leaf size. You wanted to use this more on the top rather than on the bottom because you're worried about that it will spread and would take over. I think if it's mixed with some grass on the front, that still could look okay.
Problem is that sometimes this plant is, becoming brownish. So you really need to trim these brownish leaves. Let's just not cover all the cracks because we need to have some cracks visible.
Do you know what I just realized that what I like very much when you're building something? It's full of surprises. I mean, you don't know how it will end up, what will be the result. Someone will build a forest, someone will build an evil gummiscape just to say it's not Tommy, but these are the general styles. You are crazy focused when you're building.
It's my hobby. This is why I do everything. It's because I enjoy it and I want you guys to enjoy it equally. Because planted aquariums are the best therapy that I know. I want to plant something in the sand. Can I just put some?
Yeah, that's the maximum, but I would keep it clean.
Then Juan is going to come and tell us there's not enough detail in the foreground.
It's a breathing area. The stones are so heavy. We need this breathing area, but we need to full fit of nice details.
We are at the point when we almost finished with the planting, and I would be happy with the current phase.
But we're not stopping there because we're going to continue with the terrestrial part and Ibon. The number one key factor in the aquarium hobby is filtration. The gatekeeper of your fish tank is the good quality, efficient external filter. And we have two of them underneath this tank. One is like a backup filter, and that will supply the water for the waterfall. I put the intake of the filter in the back here, that's a plastic intake, and the outflow of the filter will come through the waterfall outflow actually. The second filter that we have below this tank is an Eheim 2080 filter. So terrestrial plants, let's start from the right side here, or should we start with the hygrolons? The hygrolon is a synthetic material that is highly porous and it will take the water up.
It can bring water up to 80-90 centimeters. The important thing when you use hygrolon is that it has an orientation that will help with the water uptake. If you want to take up water to higher levels,
just
you
need to pattern.
Use the orientation.
So don't do it this way, do it vertically like that.
Working with hygrolon is pretty easy. You just need to be sure you leave enough width that it can easily uptake the water. So you just don't cut
small stripes
that won't work that well.
So make sure that you have a lot of hygrolon below the water as well, so that you can take up.
So it takes up water much more easily.
I want it to look like that, fully grown with moss. 7 stripes of hygrolon, they will be the base for the moisturizing of the mosses that are not near the surface, because the mosses that are near the surface will uptake the water through their structure.
Now we should just try to test fit the upper part first, and then when we find place for everything, a good place for everything, then we can start with the planting.
It's an asparagus.
Yeah. It's the same one we eat, actually.
You know that the asparagus is actually related to garlic? Can I leave it here like that?
You can.
This is the Asparagus setaceus, which is one of my favorite plants. It could stay here, probably. No, it's too much. How can we place this here?
We cannot.
I know we cannot. So what if we place this here?
That will break the scale.
Yes, it will. It needs to be in front, right?
Yes,
somehow.
exactly.
So what if we put this here?
Yeah, you can put it there.
Yeah, I like that.
Ooh, that's nice.
No, it's too much. Less is more. Let's take it out. Enough. That's it. Enough of the big plants. So let's plant these.
Yeah, let's plant these.
This is Christmas moss mixed with flame moss, and we're using this instead of the ones that came in the box, new ones, because these are already acclimatized to the above the water environment. So what should I do?
These are like a bunch of moss layers on top of each other.
There you go.
So you just need to separate them and try to put it in the holes of hydrogen.
Uba is now mixing the tropical river soil from DOOA with the peat and the sphagnum moss.
Take roughly half part tropical river soil.
Okay.
And the other half is like 50-50 black peat and sphagnum moss.
So let me explain you the structure of what we have here. We have the mixture of the peat, soil and sphagnum moss wrapped around the roots, like what is Uba doing right now. And then he is putting the hygrolon on top of this whole thing, like a kokedama, but with hygrolon around it. And then he's closing up the hygrolon with some wood tights from ADA, and this whole structure will be covered with moss. Can you give me some more pepperonia?
Here, just
Yeah, okay.
don't be too greedy because that's all I have, so.
Are we shooting a video for the guys or we're not? I love how you attach yourself to these guys. So this is peperomia. It will root into the moss if I place it on top of the moss.
In the meantime, I found something in a decoration shelf, and I think maybe we can use this on the upper
Well,
part.
let's try some. I'm using the small pebbles to direct the flow because I want to have it going in both ways, towards the center and towards the right as well. The epic Paludarium build at Green Aqua is over. We're filling it up with water.
It was a long build, took more than 10 hours for us. The result is awesome. I think one of the best aquariums these days what we built. So I'm really looking forward what you think, guys, about the final result.
Let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.